So this is Conspiracy Theories and Chill. I am Sean, and we're going to sit around and chat conspiracies. You guys can comment. Anything you want to talk about, let me know, because we're going to hang out for about 45 minutes to an hour and just talk conspiracies. So until you guys leave or until nobody's interested anymore, we'll hang out. So comment, feel free at any time to comment and let me know what you want to talk about, because this is a participation show. But some of the things I wanted to get into, I don't know if you've heard this, but it is being reported in overseas media like Russia, and a few whistleblower type independent media here have picked it up, like RT, that the internet could possibly and is likely to go down completely in the next 48 hours. And that's a little bit scary of a thought. My computer's not cooperating with me. There we go. But yeah, in the next 48 hours, the internet could completely go away for who knows how long. And they say, the reason that they say is because they have to update servers. But they're not really reporting this here in the mainstream media. You know, the mainstream lie factory that calls itself our news. They're not talking about it. But people will freak out. Don't freak out, because overseas media is reporting it. And apparently it's to replace these servers, but I don't believe that story. So maybe you do freak out. Because who knows? They're not going to tell you how bad something is until it's that bad. So maybe they don't want us to be able to communicate. Maybe the internet's being shut down. Maybe it's not being shut down to clean servers. Maybe it is being shut down for some nefarious reason. What do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments. I don't know. I don't know what to think. If it actually went down, I don't think they would need to shut the internet down to clean the servers or to do whatever they got to do to the servers. But then again, I'm no computer genius. Maybe somebody with a little more computer knowledge could correct me, but I don't feel like you would need to shut everything down to do that, to update the servers. So if the internet does go down in the next 48 hours, it could be something nefarious. It could be that they're just trying to cut off our communications or to see what would happen. You know, like they don't do psychological experiments on humanity. Of course they do. Well, let me see. It looks like I got a few people here. Let me know you're here. Go ahead and smash the like buttons, comment, participate in the show. The more that you participate in the show, the better it shows up in people's feeds, and that helps me out. You know, there's other ways to help out the show if you want. You can support our shows on Patreon. I'll share the link to that later on after the video. So it'll be here in the comment thread if you want to support our shows on Patreon. Or, you know, just support us, like I said, by communicating in the show, participating, commenting, liking, sharing, all of that. I appreciate that too. That helps us tremendously. But what I had just been talking about, if you just joined us, was that overseas media like Russian media and a few independent journalists here like RT are reporting, which is Russian media, are reporting that the internet is going to go down in the next 48 hours. So be prepared for that, and know that some people are being informed in other countries. It's just that our media is not reporting on it. And you have to wonder why. You know, if it's a planned outage, which is what's being reported, is that it's a planned outage to update the servers. And if that's the case, why aren't we hearing about it? Why aren't we being prepared for it? You know, when we go to load up Candy Crush in 2 days and it doesn't work, your grandma's going to freak out. You know, we're connected to these phones. We can't get on Facebook. We can't. Oh, my God. A lot of people's worlds are going to shatter in 48 hours. And the mainstream media is not preparing people for it. So why not? Other media is. Other countries' media is, rather. but not ours, not our propaganda machine, our lie factory. We don't have real media. Our media is a joke. Except jokes are funny, so it's not really a joke, but it's definitely not media. It's propaganda and bullshit is all it is. How many of you, and I hate that I have to bring this up, it really burns me, and I'll get to it in a minute how this ties together, but it burns me that I'm even bringing it up because I would never even have watched this if it wasn't for the fact that I had to. Just because I do a show like this, I had to watch it because everyone's talking about it. I'm talking, and you probably know what I'm talking about by now, but it's the Kanye meeting with Trump and Kanye. Everyone is talking about Trump and Kanye, and I'm going to weigh in on it because I have to now because I brought it up, but I had to bring it up. I had to at least touch on it. I watched it, and Kanye came off ridiculously stupid. And people are saying that he's sick and that because he says while he's talking, he says he is bipolar. And people are saying that he was having a breakdown and that you shouldn't make fun of Kanye because what you saw was a sick man and he's crying out for help. All right, that's not what I saw. I'm going to tell you what I saw. I saw a narcissist who really believes those things and is just in love with his own opinion, expressing it. He came off as stupid because he just is. That's how smart Kanye is. What you just saw was Kanye. You know, he is just extremely self-confident, and that shines through when he speaks. You see the confidence when he speaks. But he's just that dumb. And I'm sorry to be so blunt, but people are saying it was because he's sick. I think that's a disgrace to people who are actually sick. I don't think Kanye's sick in the sense of being sick. Sorry, one of my kids just popped in the room. I hope no one's dying. No one's screaming, so everything should be okay. But I think those were Kanye's real views, whether you like them or not. I think that's the way Kanye really feels. You know, that's his understanding of things. And that's not the first time I've seen Kanye say those things about racism being an invisible wall, etc. These are his real opinions. You're just, and as far as you thinking he's stupid for doing it, for meeting with Trump, everyone is talking about Kanye. I'm talking about Kanye. I never talk about Kanye. I have no reason to talk about Kanye. I'm not a Kanye fan. I don't follow Kanye West. And I didn't want to bring this up. It's just that so many people are focused on it that it'd be ridiculous for me not to bring it up. But I'll tell you, I sat through that interview with Kanye, or that meeting, whatever it is, with Kanye in the Oval Office with Trump. I sat through it twice just to get a good view of it so I could really judge it and give a description of it. And the thing that bothered me the most through both viewings was how orange Trump is. I try to really ignore Trump. I don't pay much attention to him. And I know that's a common joke that he's orange, but I never looked at him as much as I did in this video because he's just sitting there the whole time nodding along while Kanye rants on endlessly. And he's just so orange while he's nodding. And it's distracting because around the eyes, it's white around the eyes, and then it's just orange. So it looks like he's wearing clown makeup. I don't understand why he thinks that looks good. I don't understand why no one tells Trump that it looks ridiculous. Why don't you pick a human color? Why would he want to be orange? It doesn't make any sense to me. It was tearing me up. That's all I could focus on. Through all the time, I'm trying to focus and pay attention to what Kanye's saying so that I can comment on it. And I just kept thinking, God, Trump is so orange. Why does he want to be orange? Why is that man dyeing his skin orange? It didn't make any sense because he is making a conscious decision. He is going and he is paying money and he is telling somebody, spray paint me orange. Why is he that? Why isn't Melania, or is that how you say her name, Melania? Why isn't Melania saying, Trump, come on, let's pick a human color? With it. They would make fun of you for a minute, but then they would let it go. and you'd be happier. You'd be a human color. You know, if you're going to do a spray tan, don't go orange. It reminds me of one time I was at my uncle's house, and I was in the bathroom, and they had that rub-on tan lotion, and I put some on my hands. I shouldn't have. I was just messing around with it, and it like dyed my hands like this bright orange looking color like Trump. And I was trying to play it off because I didn't want to tell my uncle and them that I got into this dye, because now at this point, when I saw how well it worked, I'm convinced that it's expensive because I used a lot of it. And I didn't want to tell anybody. So I feel like, I don't forget what I was going with this. This should be the name of the show. I forgot where I was going with this. Either that or what was I saying? That should be the name of this show. But anyways, I was talking about how orange my hands were from this fake tan stuff. So it had to be that. I think I remember where I was going. I think I was going to say that Trump must have started out with that kind of fake tan stuff and then felt like he had to stick with the color. But no, it's okay to be a human color. We'll be all right with it. You could totally change to a human color. But the video we watched tonight was about the dangers of 5G. And if you're just joining us, check that out. It was at the beginning of this video, or I will add the feed to YouTube, to the video on YouTube. And I would really appreciate it if you watch it over there and give it a share from over there, and even subscribe to my channel on YouTube while you're over there, me on things and stuff. But I'll share those links later on in the comments. I don't want to do it now. I try to do it now while we're doing the show, but I'm not that computer literate, and I would end up stumbling all over myself, and I wouldn't be able to talk and do that at the same time. So I'll add all that in the comments later on. One day I'll be professional enough to do all that stuff at the same time, or have enough foresight to lay that all out in the description beforehand. But today is not that day. So I'll add that all later in the description or in the comment thread. It looks like we got no one here. Maybe Saturday is not a good time to do a Conspiracy Theories and Chill or a live feed. I don't care, though. We'll keep going because let me tell you this. I watch these. I watch them over and over again as a way to study myself, as a way to study what I'm doing, and it's so that I can get better and fix mistakes. So I will be here, and you can comment later on, and I will reply to your comments. I mean, trust me, just try it. When you're here watching the video later on, because people will watch it later on. I'll leave it up. Comment, and I bet you I reply. I bet you I'm here looking at it. So don't feel like you can't comment when you're watching it later on. I'll continue to talk. We'll still do a show, even though, because people will show up. We'll give it some time. I'm not going to worry about it. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to look at this for a second because I am worried about it. But I'll hold it over here like this for a second. But we watched the video on 5G tonight. Was the featured video on tonight's show. And that is frightening. The more I look into it, because I want to make a long form video about it, something about 30 minutes long. Tonight's video was only about 3. But the more I look into it, the scarier it gets. 5G really concerns me. This is dangerous radiation as well as dangerous frequencies that can really affect human beings. And, you know, they don't say that the level that they're going to subject us to is safe because they don't even care about any testing. On rats, it's been proven to show a large increase in cancer and a huge affection on reproductive organs. The egg production of rats drops dramatically in female rats when exposed to only 15 minutes a day of 5G radiation, 5G frequency. But 5G is also a military frequency used in the military as a military weapon because, like I said in the video, it can make you collapse. It can make you hear voices. It can make you question reality. It can make you lose the use of your extremities. It can make you pass out. And they use this already in the military as a weapon. But they're going to use this for the next generation of cell phones, you know, because it's going to be super cool. Your phone's going to be 100 times faster. You know, just don't pay any attention to the 300,000 new cell phone antennas that have to go up to support it, you know, and all the radiation that you're going to be exposing yourself to now just to have that faster phone. You know, don't look behind the curtain. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. It's ridiculous. You got to wonder, though, because no one's quite, you don't see anybody up in arms. This is rolling out. It's going to be live by 2019, and it affects everybody. And I don't see enough people up in arms about it. And you can't help but wonder why. I can't help but wonder why. You would think more people would be concerned. But no. Everybody's okay with it. You know, hey, put up a big old 150-foot evergreen tree full of antennas in my neighborhood, hooked to a huge generator, and pump radiation at my house, pump frequencies that you use in military weapons into my home, and onto me and my children, because I really need a super cool phone, and I need an Internet of Things so that I can program my toaster from my car on my way home. I need all these things. I really do. So I don't care what I have to subject myself to. It's what it really seems like. It seems like people are like that they just, I don't care what I subject myself to. Make my stuff really cool. Make everything really neat. And dangers be damned. I don't care about the dangers. Or is it that the media doesn't prepare people or inform people so that they understand that they're in danger? I think it's a little bit of that too, but I don't know how much people would care. I wonder sometimes. I'm really losing faith in humanity. I hate to say that, but I really am losing faith in humanity. I wonder sometimes whether we just are doomed to destroy ourselves. You know, it could just be that we're misinformed. It could be that people have good intentions, and then if we were informed, I know that we are misinformed. So it's not that it could be that we're misinformed. We are misinformed. But it could be that if we were better informed, that we would do something about what's going on. But it scares me. I wonder how many people would still keep their head down, because it's not impossible to become informed. You know, it's just difficult, but it's not impossible. You know, once you wake up and start searching out truth on your own, it's not that hard to become informed. You know, the biggest obstacle to becoming informed is dodging all the bullshit dropped along the way and the misinformation, and being able to recognize when you see it. You know, and that's the biggest challenge with becoming informed, because once you go into independent media, you have to use your bullshit selector to pick where your sources should be from. Not everything on the internet is good, of course, but not everything on the internet is bad as well. And I think it should be up to the consumer or the user to decide which is which. You know, and that brings me to my second topic I wanted to get into tonight, which is corporate censorship, which is going on rampantly again on Facebook. The last time you heard a lot about corporate censorship was with Alex Jones being banned on all the social media sites. And I made a video about that, and I'll repeat my feelings on that right here. I don't think we should ever cheer censorship in any form. You know, I felt like what happened to Alex Jones is equivalent to book burning, just like I feel like what I'm about to say is as well. Facebook recently just purged 800 pages and accounts that they felt like were political spam. Basically, just posted politics stuff all day. But you could judge my page that way. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They could throw me off and say I'm a robot because I post about politics all the time. A lot of these pages I liked. Filming Cops. I can't think of enough of them offhand. I meant to write some down, but a lot of good pages. Now, I'm sure there's garbage pages in there as well. I haven't went through the whole list, but I could think of at least 10 that I like and follow that are gone now, because Mark Zuckerberg decided that he needed to censor us from those things. I don't want Mark Zuckerberg or the Facebook security team deciding what I can and cannot watch, what I can and cannot see, what I can and cannot follow, and what is and is not news. I don't want, and I know that that's their right, and I know that they can do that. but I don't want them doing it. I don't want to be part of a platform where they do that. You see what I'm saying? What's the value of a platform where they do that? And when you're in a position like Facebook is, when you have a monopoly on this kind of social media, which is crucial if you're trying to do anything online, you need social media. So if you have a monopoly on social media and you can just decide that, okay, you're not news, you are fake news, you are spam, and I'm shutting you down. And you can just decide that this organization or this group doesn't get the right to share on your social media platform because you disagree with them. Now, I just don't feel that that's right. I know that they're allowed to do it. I'm saying it isn't right. I equate it to book burning. I think it's the same as book burning, and it's censorship, and I don't like it. So I think we need to be supporting other platforms. To recommend a few, I would say MeWe. I would like for them to improve their interface. You know, I don't really like, it's not that user friendly. I would like for them to really improve on that. But MeWe's good. They don't censor as much and or as at all as from what I understand. But you know, I'm gonna believe it when I see it. We'll look at it like that. I'm not going to give them that much of a plug right now because I don't know that much about MeWe, to be honest with you. But they say that they don't censor. Another good one, if you're worried about censorship, such as I am, is Just Inform. That's a baby one. It's just starting out, but they say that they'll never censor, and the only thing that they do is make you prove that you're human to join, so you don't have to worry about bots either. But you know, it's a baby and it doesn't have a lot of users yet, but that's supposed to be a good one. And Steam It, which is, you know, again, not that user friendly, and it's a little weird right now. I'm over there. I'm on Steam It and DTube and Just Inform. Those are the other social media platforms I'm using right now, besides the big ones like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. But you have to use those. And Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter have a monopoly on like self-promotion. And to be shut down from them, while I realize they can do that, and that's their right as a private company, they can decide who can and cannot use their product. I get that. But when you have a monopoly on the industry, I don't think you should be allowed to do that willy-nilly like that. I think you should have to go through some kind of a process that should be harder to do. I don't think you should do it at all. I think whether you show up in somebody's feed should be based on how popular you are. And we should support and not support things based on their value. And that should be how things get judged. But because I don't want somebody deciding for me what is true and what is not, and what is news and what is not, and what I can know and what I can't know. You know, I don't even like the idea of that kind of society. That is Orwellian and creepy to me, to have someone telling me, oh, you're not, this knowledge is not for you. You don't need to see this. Don't look over here. Don't look behind the curtain. No, I'm going to look behind the curtain. I want to know everything. I want to know exactly. And I want to know if you're hiding it from me, if you don't want me to know it, and this is how I've always been, if you don't want me to know it, I want to know it even worse. This is the longest we've ever gone with no one here. So I really want to stress that I will watch this later. So if you're watching this later too, comment, and I'll probably still be here, and we'll talk. We could talk about any conspiracies you want. Plus, I'd like ideas for future shows. So if you're watching this later, feel free to comment, and feel free to interact too. Even though it's not live, when you interact with this post, it helps it show up more in the algorithm. It helps it show up in more people's feeds. You know, it shows that it's something people like. So feel free to like and share this post later on, because we will leave it up, and it's still of value. We're having a discussion. I'll pretend like there's people here. We get to a certain point, I might start making up comments. Maybe that's what I should do instead of being honest when there's no one here. It's just there's usually people here. But it's a Saturday, and it's 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's only 5:30 or 5 o'clock where I'm at. Or what time is it? 6 o'clock. But we'll leave this up, and feel free to participate, even if it's later on. You know what I mean? I would like that. So far we talked about, what were we just talking about? Oh, Facebook purging 800 accounts. And I'm just saying that the way they have a monopoly over the industry and the way that they are so necessary, if you want to do anything online and support yourself and promote yourself, you need Facebook. And let's use filming cops, for example. That was a good page. You know, that's something that needs exposure. They would share, just like you could tell from the title, instances where cops were being filmed where they're in the wrong, and it would bring exposure to those kind of things. That was their focus. They got taken down. Now, how is that? How is that right? How is that something anyone wants? I want someone that's, following and keeping an eye on the police. The police need to be policed. They've made that abundantly clear, and it's clear anyway. It should have been clear a long time ago. We'd never be in this situation. It's elementary. It's self-explanatory.
Bluetooth pairing.
It's nothing revolutionary that I'm saying. It should have already been going on. You got to police the police. Well, of course you do. And yes, they have an internal affairs department, but they also have a thin blue line where they protect each other and watch each other's backs and make sure anybody that dares to rat or whistleblow is suppressed and ostracized. But this Facebook purge of these 800 accounts, it has me really concerned because, like I said, they have a monopoly over the industry. And when you control and have that much power over a certain thing, which people use, such as Facebook, to promote themselves, and you can just take away that ability, especially on Alex Jones's level, where it's been on all the platforms, all the main platforms. He can't share videos on YouTube, he can't be on Twitter, and he can't be on Facebook. So he can't share anything online, basically. He could go to other platforms, but, again, you run into the problem that you have over at Just Inform. There's only a couple thousand people, and if you're trying to promote something, that's not a whole lot of people to promote to. You want a larger group than that, like what Facebook offers or Twitter offers. And, one day Just Inform might be at that level. Hopefully they will. I would like to see a startup like that, that believes in free speech and is independently owned and operated. I would like to see something like that succeed. So hopefully they do. But right now I can see why you would be like, okay, well, that's not really a viable option for me to promote my shows. And if Facebook was taken away from you, it would dramatically hit you if you had to go to something like that. So it really bothers me that Facebook would take down these pages, and it makes me not want to use Facebook. It makes me want to explore other options for social media, and I'm going to. So, like I said, I've briefly looked into MeWe. I'm on Steemit and DTube and Just Inform. I'm going to look at some others. I'm going to maybe Minds.com. I've heard about that. I've heard some things. Some people have recommended Minds to me, so I might look into that one too. But I'm going to look at leaving Facebook, to be honest with you. I will use it for the purposes I need it for as long as I can, because I don't believe that they'll be that friendly to me speaking out against them. But this is corporate censorship, and I don't care that they have the right to do it. They're not right to do it. You know what I mean? If you get what I'm saying, I think you get what I'm saying. They may have the right to do it, but it isn't right. That doesn't make it right. And I'm against it. And to me, it's enough to make me want to push for another site, another social media site to rise up in its place, to take Facebook's place. So I think it's overlasted its usefulness, especially if they're going to have such an emphasis on censorship. I don't think that it doesn't serve the purpose that I want it for if it's going to be about censorship. I don't want, because I don't want to be censored, so I'm against any form of censorship. So I didn't like all these pages. There's 800 pages that got shut down by Facebook, 800 pages and accounts. And I didn't like all these people or these pages. I liked a lot of them, though. That's my point. So the ones I don't like are the ones that I don't even know about. They have the right to exist just like the ones that I like do. And whether they're popular or not should be whether or not that they're even seen. They shouldn't show up in your algorithm if they're not popular, if they're not being viewed. And if they're of value and they're being viewed, let people view them. How is it right for you to say that the content of filming cops, for example, is not of value? I feel like it's of value, and I'm one of your users. I think it should be more up to your users, and what your users support and like and comment and share on. That should be how things show up in an algorithm. It shouldn't be what you feel like people should see, what you approve of people seeing. And that's what Facebook seems to want to do. So I think we need to look at leaving Facebook in the short end of it, saying it. We need to look at finding a new place to gather. Because how do you share truth in a place that values censorship so much? It becomes impossible. And if we don't support here's the important part. If we don't support places that encourage free speech and encourage our rights, then they'll die, and that'll be our fault, and we'll be left with nothing. Now, I don't want to be in that boat, so we need to support. We need to just collectively search these out, get together, and start really searching for the one we like, and the one we like will be the one that succeeds. And we need to leave Facebook and go there, whether it's Minds or MeWe or Just Inform or whatever it is. These platforms, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, they're corrupt and controlled by Google and the establishment, and they're censoring the hell out of them. They're throttling videos on YouTube. They're throttling viewership and all of that, and throttling growth of truth channels. I know they do it to me, but they do it to others. They'll unsubscribe users all the time. They make it impossible for you to get views. They drop you down in their algorithm, just like Facebook does. And just like Google itself does as a search engine. It's getting harder and harder to find truth. Matter of fact, Google said that their goal is for one day it to be only one answer given when you ask a question. They say there should only be one result when you make a search. So if you ask Google a question, you should only get one answer. It should be the establishment approved answer. That's what they want to have eventually. So we need to support a different search engine that isn't outright public with the fact that they want to have massive censorship to the point where you only get one answer to your question. How many things can you think of where there's only one true answer? Only one possible answer? Besides math questions, things like that. But history, there's always shades of the answer. There's always sides to a story. I just think it's really important that we support things and companies and etc. that support our values, and censorship and free speech is one of my main values, especially as somebody with journalistic aspirations. Well, let's see. Another thing we touched on was that it's being reported in overseas media and like RT that the internet is going to go down in the next 48 hours. There's going to be an internet outage in the next 48 hours. They say to work on the servers, to clean the servers or whatever, to do whatever maintenance to the servers that they need to do. But I think it's kind of shocking, and I think it's kind of shady. I don't know a lot. Like I said earlier, I don't know a lot about computers, so I can't say for sure that I know you would need to shut down the internet to maintain the servers. I would think you'd be able to do maintenance to the servers and leave the internet on, but again, I don't know what I'm talking about. But they say they need to shut it down to maintain the servers, but our media is not reporting on this. The overseas media is, and RT, which is Russian media, is reporting on this. But there'll be mass panic. If you think about it, like I said earlier, your grandma goes to load Candy Crush and she can't get it to load. She's not going to know what to do. Pull up Facebook and there's, everything's a little dinosaur and nothing will load. But so just so you know, in case it happens, I don't know that it'll actually happen because, like I said, it's being reported overseas and in the Russian media and in other countries too. But I know about it through RT. So I don't know if you don't follow RT, you might not have seen the story. But they're saying that the internet could go down completely in the next 48 hours. For maintenance to the servers. So it'll come back up. Maybe. If it's really what they say is going to happen, if it's really what's going on, is maintenance to the servers. But why is our media not reporting it? That's odd. Because as much as people depend on their phone and depend on the internet, you would think that the media would let you know that, hey, there's going to be an outage to the global internet for such and such a time in so many days. Why wouldn't they report that? Why am I seeing that from RT? See, this is what I mean. What about when Facebook decides RT doesn't have any value and I can't see posts from them anymore? Then I wouldn't know about something like this because I can't look at other media. You see what I mean? I don't want my truth picked and choose for me. I'm smart enough to choose my own truth. And I'm smart enough to also see that in order for me to have those things and to have that truth, I need to be able to allow things I don't agree with to exist. That's also the main crutch of free speech. Popular speech doesn't need to be protected. It's unpopular speech that needs to be protected. You have to always support free speech, even in situations like this, where it's a corporation doing the censorship. Then you got to ban that corporation. You got to take away their usership, whatever they depend on, whether it's products, sales, or views, or anything like that. Stop giving them what they depend on. That's how you fight it. You fight it with your dollar, and you fight it with your presence. You don't support things that don't deserve your support. And Facebook has shown, especially lately, that they don't deserve our support. So we should find a new platform to go to. But our featured video tonight, because we got about 10 minutes left. Our featured video tonight was on 5G. And why we need to be concerned about 5G. And I wanted to keep it short. I'm going to share the link for it. Please share it, the YouTube version, because I want to grow my YouTube channel. So please share that version for me. But it's about the dangers of 5G and why we need to be concerned about it. And the main keys I could give you right now is that it's 2,000% more radiation exposure, 300,000 new cell towers, and these are weaponized frequencies. 5G is. They have dramatic effects on the human body. They can paralyze you. That's one of their uses in military form. Just a frequency. These frequencies interact with the human body. And we're going to be surrounded by them. And no one knows. No one talks about it. You don't see it on the media. They don't talk about it. They don't talk about the dangers. If they talk about it at all, they talk about how cool it's going to be. Your phone's going to be 100 times faster. Well, whoop-de-doo. If you're exposed to 2,000% more radiation, just because you can't see something doesn't mean it can't hurt you. I just don't think it's worth it for something. I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool to have, like I said, you program the toaster from the car or have your garage know that you're home and start the coffee pot for you. Know when to heat and cool your house, all that stuff. Be able to control all that stuff from your watch. And all that stuff's really neat and all. But what are we willing to expose ourselves to have really cool stuff? Are we willing to kill ourselves to have really cool stuff? You have to wonder sometimes. I wonder sometimes. I'm wondering how much more we'll allow in the name of comfort and convenience. How much more we'll allow, give up, and put up with just to have cooler stuff and neater things. And basically, I'm worried about humanity is my main point. I know I've given up hope on America. America's doomed. It's part of these demonic bastards' plans. America's a failed state anyway. We're doomed. We're running out of time. We're on a ticking clock. The dollar cannot stand. The dollar will collapse. And when it does, our way of life will collapse. Martial law will roll out, and we will never know freedom again. And I don't think it's that far off. I think the end of America as we know it is really near. Probably a lot nearer than you'd like to think. But whether that's true or not, there's other things to be concerned about, such as AI, which ties into 5G. Because like Elon Musk has said, the structure and everything for AI is already in place. It just has a bandwidth problem. Now, 5G will solve that bandwidth problem. AI, so to speak, AI is already there. Once they get the 5G grid rolled out, AI can be rolled out. And you're going to start seeing automation take over everything. And automation take over, everyone's going to start doing everything. And will become obsolete. And at that point, they're going to have to roll out some form of universal basic income, of course, because otherwise there'll be no jobs. And they're not talking about this either. And we're not that far away from this. You know, there are already machines that can flip burgers. They've already got automated order takers. You know, they've already got you checking out your own groceries at Walmart. You know, think about it. We're not that far off. They've got us well trained. They can get us to do most things. So how long will it be before you go into McDonald's and you're making your own sandwich? You know, starts with them making you make your own drink. Then you're making your own sandwich, getting your own fries, cleaning up your own mess. That's the one thing they probably couldn't make you do. They'll get you to do everything else except clean up your mess. I've seen that for myself. People will not clean up after themselves. People are slobs. Well, thank you guys, the ones of you that came during the show, and ones of you that watch later, thank you too. And remember, I will be here later on. So remember to comment while you're watching this, and I'll talk to you and comment back to you. And just let me know things you want to see in the future and want to see me go into, or you'd like to see me make a video about. Let me know all that in the comments. But until next time, this has been Conspiracy Theories and Chill. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. And I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you on the next episode, right here from Politics and Stuff. So thanks for coming by, and share and like the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and click the bell to get notified of new videos.